Hey guys, uh, back with another video. Like I said in my last one, this one is going to be automatic charcoal, which is probably one of the most useful ones later game when you got your base done, you're trying to do more raids, you're just trying to have fun, you're just trying to have like the actual Rust experience, and you're just trying to have all that fun. So for the auto charcoal smelter, for the auto wood smelter, I guess you could say. It's probably easier. It's actually, I feel, easier than your normal auto smelter. So these are the items you're gonna need. You're gonna need, of course, your furnace. Yet again, electrical branch, root combiner. You actually don't need the splitter. Forgot to remove that. You are gonna need industrial conveyors, storage adapters. You're gonna need about 10 storage adapters, one industrial conveyor, one root combiner, and I believe 1 to 2 electrical branches, 2 solar panels, a small rechargeable battery instead of a large one this time. Gonna need your wiring tool and your piping tool, and any box of your choice. It could be a barrel, it could be a normal box, it could be a small box, doesn't matter, just needs to be something that can hold loot. Except, like, the weird items like lockers. um Your furnace, if I remember correctly, is about 250 wood, 50 low grade, and 500 stones. I do want to double check just so I'm not wrong. 200 stones, 100 wood, and 500 low grade. I was pretty wrong. Okay, so for it'll almost fit in one square. It'll bulge a little over, but you're going to want to use your snap lock, which you use shift for. Place them all in a line like this. That way, they all line. And I believe if you wanted, you could do something like this, and you could place like a garage door for easy maintenance or whatever. But just for demonstrational purposes, we're not going to do it like that. So if I take this stuff out of my inventory, no longer need the furnace after you place the 9. You can do multiple. You can do 18 or more. It doesn't matter. But so yeah, but you could just do like any amount of furnaces. You could also do large furnaces and oil refineries. But if you're trying to not draw much attention, using furnaces is your best bet. So these are always going to be oriented the same way, no matter how they're placed. It all depends on how the furnace is placed. Now this, you can place it with this barrel. It's from a DLC pack, which that pack will run you about, I believe, 13 USD. But this is also, that's without taxes. Depends on your area, it could be more. But here with the wicker barrel, you can place it on the sides, the top side or the bottom side. It doesn't really matter how you place it. I recommend not placing it on the opposite side of the furnaces. Just makes it a little bit more difficult. For the battery, you can just place it on top of the box if you want. Doesn't really matter. That doesn't look good though. It's just kind of floating there. Just if you're trying to keep it all kind of compact in the same little area, just place it right there. Okay, so you're going to want to grab industrial conveyor, your electrical branch, and your solar panel. And yet again, we're just going to do a little something like this. We're going to place the solar panels so they are oriented the correct way. This way, I should explain better. This guarantees the most solar efficiency because the way that it rises and it sets, as it rises, it'll absorb all that it can, and then as it sets, it'll absorb all that it can. So at one point, one will be making 20, one will be making less, and then vice versa. Depends on time of day. And then at night, you know, it doesn't make anything. I can't make this jump. There we go. Now, I'm just gonna place the root combiner there. I'm gonna grab my wiring tool. Gonna slow walk out of there. I'm actually gonna move this to make it up easier. Just help myself here. Grab this, bring it over here. The only reason I'm doing it like this, the wiring, is to kind of keep it more neat and to show you guys how I do that. I just kind of let it get phased through the like floors or wherever I'm building is where it's going to be phasing through. So like this floor, if I place it right here, I bring it over to here. As you can tell, you can't really see it. So the server I'm in, no matter what, powers it to max power, but it's not showing me power for right now. Normally, one would be making 20 right about now, or they'd both be making like 15 if it's right above it. Just depends, time of day, like I said. The only reason I say small battery is good for this setup is because you don't need the large battery or the medium battery, because this will power everything you need just fine for a while. So, just gonna place it like this. Orientation doesn't matter too much. Then yet again, you're gonna want to configure this to be one power out. Then put that branch out like that. The power out, don't need to do anything with. That's the good thing about this. And then you can bring your power output up, over, up. Up, over, then up again. That way. Then if you take your piping tool, this is probably the easiest step out of everything. You literally are just basically connecting the dots here. Now when doing this, it doesn't really matter. The Z pattern is just, it's gonna happen unless you just do like something like that. Okay, like that, and then you do that. But that's just too much work. It's unnecessary. There's no real reason to do it. So the Z pattern is just best here. Just for demonstration purposes, I'm gonna move this to here. I'm gonna put a new box right here. This is input, this is output. But you could just actually just because normally your input is also gonna be your output box. You're gonna want to take your industrial output and then just run it as neatly as you can. It just all depends on the space you're working with. Okay. Just run it to here. Run it a little bit more up. Boom. And this, you can just do a little something like this. Yep. Okay, forgot to wire that up. Then your output. For some reason, furnaces don't have a hitbox when you're doing this, so you can literally just run it straight through the furnace, which is probably the best thing about it. So you just run it same way. Boom, boom, boom. Then it'll all run to each other. Now, you can set something up. You use the igniter, and you place it, like, on the ceiling. This costs more. It just depends on what your budget is. But, I mean, I'm guessing if you're making something like this, it's later into wipe, and you got the stuff for it. You got all the components, you got all the materials. Cost doesn't matter you anymore. You're richy rich. You can have it like that, and it'll just sit there and continuously burn forever. If you have it like that, that's just a waste of your power. So if you go back into here and you get a timer, place down set timer. Set time, you can do like every 2 minutes, so that's not 2 minutes, that's 2 minutes. You have it put into here, timer takes 0 power, branch it out like that, like that. You proceed to wire it up. Once you activate that timer, it'll run for 2 minutes, which means I set that up wrong. Okay. Wow, it's been a while since I've had to do it automatically like this. I believe it is. Oh, Lord, I forgot. Oh, no. Okay. Okay, that's a switch. That's the wrong thing. So, these furnaces are just continuing to burn. So let me turn all of these off. And you can just turn all these off by just holding E while looking at them. If you throw your switch down, then your timer down, this needs to be switched on. Set time 120. Power in. Branch out. Believe I have set this up wrong again. Wow, I must lock in unbelievably badly. Doesn't need 41 power. Okay. Let's see. Oh wait, no. So this boom. And okay. So branch out needs to not go into the timer. Don't know why. It's like being weird. So we're just gonna do it like this. Never mind. It fixed it. Do it like this. Go to here. Power out. Boom. That's wrong. Okay. I don't know. I just keep forgetting, honestly. But you can just wire it up like this. That way you don't have to do it individually. If you just take a switch. That's not a switch. If you just take a switch, you go like this. It's not fully automated. It somewhat requires assistance. But if you do it like this, then you're all good. You just, so you're running along your base. You hear that the furnaces are off. You just go, turn them on. Boom. That requires 3 power for the whole thing. So let's see. I could do 3 power pass through. Okay. This is another really easy thing to set up. If you just use if you just use this one electrical branch, you set it's at 3. It'll take its 1, pass through. There you go. Boom, 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 boom. That's yet again wrong. That's my bad. Okay, let's try this again, shall we? Put it into the switch. Okay, 5 power. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Set that back down to 3. And boom, because this takes 0 power, that takes 2, that takes 1. So yeah, as you see, nothing's going into there. But if I go ahead and I do fix my inventory real quick, if I go ahead and I hit my F1 and I search up wood. By the way, this menu, you can look at it for all the items, but you can't use it while in an actual server. It's only build servers. This is the main thing you're going to use, your console command. Just give a little background information. You can do your combat log, which just tells you guns that you've shot, as well as how much damage you've done to a player But if I just pump the wood into here, turn that on, and you don't need to necessarily check in there to make sure it's working. It'll literally show you on this little screen. Boom, there it is, it's working. It's not gonna cook. Yeah, the furnaces are different because you can lag the server with them. Overall though, you see how it works. It'll cook it all up, then it'll pump it back into here. That's it. So yeah, our next guide, what it's gonna be, like I said in my first video on Rust, is gonna be an auto sorter. Worked on it myself. Pretty simple to set it up. I primarily will say it's used for open cores more than just your normal, average, everyday 2x2. You could use it for that, but it's more designed for an open core, and I'll show you the exact open core I'm talking about. It can be used in any open core, just make sure you have a room dedicated to electricity and industrial. But other than that, I hope you guys did find this video useful. Watched me struggle there trying to set up the automatic system. I forgot, it's been a while since I've had to do that. Normally I just have a box about filled up with wood to about here, and then it just starts cooking charcoal, just starts pumping it into there and just fills up the box at some point. So yeah, I apologize for that. That did take me a while, but this is probably your most simple setup for if you need the igniter. You got this, you go boom, there you go. Cost 3 power, small battery, that'll last you a while. You don't even need the 2, I just put the 2 just to make it seem different, I guess. You only need 1, honestly. So it'll be cheaper, you'll only need 5 high quality metal and 1 tech trash. This battery, which costs a little bit of supplies, 5 high quality metal, and all this pretty cheap. Let's see, all the furnaces added up. It'll cost you a lot of low grade, so you do need a lot of low grade. Stone, pretty easy to get, 1.8k stone, 900 wood. The 450 low grade is where it's really gonna bite you. That part always sucks. It really does. Getting low grade can be hard sometimes unless you got an oil refinery and you got a whole bunch of crude to smelt down. So I just recommend, if you just need it kind of short term, or you just want an automated system, but you don't have the low grade to spend on it, do like 3, 4, whatever you can afford. This can be modified to what you need, how many you need. It doesn't always have to be this exact amount. That's the same for my last video with the electric furnaces. It really differs between each thing. But other than that, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, maybe like, maybe subscribe. I can't make that decision for you. I can't control your hands, where your cursor goes, where your thumb hovers. That's all up to you. But on any other note, hope you all have a good time. Have a good day. And, don't forget, if you need a tutorial, I'm here.